The fragile peace between India and Pakistan was shattered once more. An attack in Indian-controlled Kashmir last month, May 2025, tragically claimed 26 civilian lives in Pahalgam. This devastating event immediately became the spark for renewed hostilities. The long-standing Kashmir dispute, a deep wound in the subcontinent's history, again proved to be a dangerous flashpoint. Tensions, always simmering beneath the surface, rapidly escalated. The specter of a wider conflict loomed large over the region. Both nations found themselves on high alert, bracing for what might come next. The air itself seemed thick with unspoken fears and renewed animosity. India's response to the Pahalgam attack was swift and forceful. The Indian military launched Operation Sindoor. This operation unfolded in late May, specifically on an early Wednesday, described as last week from our current perspective of early June 2025. Indian forces conducted cross-border strikes. They targeted 9 locations inside Pakistani territory. These sites were identified by India as terrorist infrastructure. This direct action across the border represented a significant escalation. It moved beyond the more common, albeit still dangerous, exchanges of fire along the line of control. The strategic calculus for both nations had demonstrably shifted. Pakistan, unsurprisingly, issued strong and immediate counterclaims regarding the aerial engagements. Lieutenant General Ahmed Sharif, Pakistan's military spokesperson, addressed the situation publicly. He stated that the Pakistan Air Force had engaged Indian aircraft on that same Wednesday morning. According to his statement, the PAF successfully shot down a total of 5 Indian Air Force jets. The alleged downings included 3 French-made Rafale fighters. Additionally, 1 Russian-made Su-30 MKI and 1 Russian-made MiG-29 were claimed to have been neutralized. These assertions painted a dramatic picture of intense aerial combat over the disputed territories. The Indian Air Force initially remained silent on these specific claims from Pakistan. However, on the Sunday following the Wednesday clashes, the IAF acknowledged combat losses. An official spokesperson stated that losses are a part of combat. Crucially, the IAF maintained that all its pilots had returned safely to India. This official Indian narrative, however, was met with some contrasting reports. 4 separate government sources in Indian-ruled Kashmir informed Reuters that 3 Indian fighter jets had indeed crashed within the federal territory. Adding to this, 2 United States officials reported that Pakistani J-10 fighter planes, which are Chinese-made, had shot down at least 2 Indian military aircraft, explicitly mentioning 1 Rafale. The Indian Air Force has placed considerable faith and investment in its fleet of Rafale fighter jets. These aircraft are manufactured by the renowned French aerospace company, Dassault Aviation. The Rafale is a highly capable, twin-engine, 4.5-generation multi-role fighter. It is celebrated for its advanced avionics and versatile combat capabilities. These include potent air-to-air combat performance and sophisticated reconnaissance systems. India had already inducted an initial batch of 36 Rafale jets in recent years. Amidst these recent tensions, New Delhi announced a new contract to procure an additional 26 Rafales, underscoring its continued reliance on this advanced French platform. Facing the Indian Rafales, the Pakistan Air Force fields the Chengdu J-10C. This aircraft is a product of China's rapidly advancing aerospace industry. The J-10C is also classified as a 4.5-generation fighter jet. It is a medium-weight, single-engine, multi-role combat aircraft. Key design features include its delta wing and canard configuration, contributing to its agility. The Chengdu Aircraft Corporation is its primary manufacturer. The J-10C is not only a cornerstone of Pakistan's air defense, but also serves with the People's Liberation Army Air Force and Naval Air Force in China. It represents a significant element in Pakistan's strategic military assets. The recent aerial confrontations over Kashmir hold particular importance for the Chinese J-10C. This series of engagements potentially marks the aircraft's first operational combat deployment. For military observers and defense analysts across the globe, this is a development of immense interest. It provides a rare, real-world opportunity to assess the J-10C's performance characteristics. Previously, evaluations of its capabilities were largely based on technical specifications, air show demonstrations, and controlled military exercises. These clashes offer invaluable if contested data on its effectiveness, especially when pitted against a respected Western-designed aircraft like the Rafale in actual combat conditions. Beyond the aircraft themselves, the missile technologies they carry also became a focal point of intense discussion. This was particularly evident on social media platforms and in preliminary analyses by defense commentators. Many discussions centered on a comparative assessment. This involved China's PL-15 long-range air-to-air missile, often integrated with the J-10C. On the other side was the European MBDA's Meteor, a highly capable radar-guided beyond visual range air-to-air missile, which is a key armament for the Rafale. While there has been no official confirmation from either side that these specific advanced missile systems were actually employed during the recent dogfights, their potential matchup added another layer of technological intrigue. The alleged performance of Pakistan's J-10C fighter jets, particularly against India's Rafales, has sent ripples through the global defense community. It has notably prompted a significant reassessment of Chinese defense technology. For many years, aerospace technology from Western nations was often perceived to hold a definitive edge. The claims emerging from the India-Pakistan skirmishes, if substantiated, could challenge this long-held assumption. The prospect of a Chinese-manufactured J-10C successfully engaging and potentially downing a sophisticated French Rafale is a powerful narrative. It signals a potential shift in the perceived global balance of aerospace power, with nations considering Chinese military hardware likely observing these developments with great attention. Market reactions provided an immediate, tangible indicator of the situation's impact. Dassault Aviation, the esteemed French manufacturer of the Rafale, experienced a noticeable dip in its share price. This occurred on the Paris Stock Exchange on the Wednesday of the reported clashes. Although the company's shares had recovered by the close of trading on the following Thursday, this fluctuation highlighted the market's sensitivity to such geopolitical events. Conversely, these same events reportedly provided a boost to the standing of Chinese, and more broadly, other Asian defense manufacturers. A successful verified combat debut for the J-10C could significantly enhance its attractiveness on the international arms export market. International military circles are observing these developments with intense scrutiny and professional interest. Defense analysts in key global centers, including China, the United States, and various European nations, are eager to glean detailed information. Douglas Barry, a senior fellow for military aerospace at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, articulated this well. He emphasized the global defense community's desire to understand the specific tactics, techniques, procedures, and equipment performance from this engagement. Barry specifically highlighted the potential matchup of the J-10C, possibly armed with the PL-15 missile, as arguably China's most capable weapon, against the Rafale, potentially carrying the Meteor missile, considered one of the West's most capable weapons. Despite the keen interest, seasoned defense analysts are also urging considerable caution. Byron Callan, a respected Washington-based defense expert at Capital Alpha Partners, emphasized the pervasive fog of war. He stressed that drawing definitive conclusions about aircraft performance or missile effectiveness is exceptionally difficult at this early stage. Many crucial operational details remain unconfirmed or are subject to conflicting reports. For instance, it is unclear whether the Indian Rafales involved were equipped with their most advanced Meteor missiles. The specific training levels and combat experience of the pilots on both sides are also vital, yet unknown factors. Arms manufacturing companies globally will undoubtedly be seeking detailed feedback to assess their products' real-world performance. The recent military confrontation rapidly extended beyond the physical battlefield. It quickly spilled over into the digital domain, with social media platforms becoming a key arena for narratives. Many Pakistani social media users enthusiastically celebrated their military's purported successes. These were often framed as a David versus Goliath victory against a larger adversary. Memes, viral videos, and humorous posts were widely deployed. These were used to mock alleged Indian misinformation and bolster national morale. In response to this online activity, India reportedly took action by blocking dozens of accounts. These included accounts belonging to prominent Pakistani public figures on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube, highlighting the contentious nature of this information war. These events also had a discernible impact on domestic perceptions, particularly within Pakistan. According to Michael Kugelman, a South Asia expert at the Wilson Center, the crisis bolstered the Pakistani army. Public sentiment often tends to rally around national military institutions during such periods of heightened external conflict. Adding to this, a video clip began circulating extensively on social media. The clip featured a Pakistani army official. In it, he described the Indian Rafale as a very potent aircraft, if employed well. Some observers interpreted this statement as a subtle, perhaps even tactical acknowledgement of the Rafale's advanced capabilities, even while Pakistan was claiming significant victories against it. The aerial clashes and the preceding attack inevitably carry broader implications for the already complex South Asian region. Other nations within South Asia, while condemning the initial terrorist attack in Pahalgam, largely adopted a stance of neutrality during the direct India-Pakistan military escalation. They issued calls for restraint and de-escalation from both nuclear-armed neighbors. Compounding the military tensions, issues surrounding water resources also resurfaced. India had suspended its participation in the 1960 Indus Waters Treaty in April 2025. Subsequently, Pakistan's Water and Power Development Authority reported a sharp decline in water flow from India into the Chenab River during late May, a critical source for Pakistan's agriculture. Ultimately, the fog of war continues to obscure many critical details of the late May 2025 engagements, making definitive, unbiased conclusions about the comparative performance of the Rafale and J-10C or their associated missile systems remains a challenging endeavor. However, what is undeniable is that these clashes have significantly heightened regional tensions. They have also provided a rare, albeit contested, live demonstration of evolving military technologies in a real-world combat scenario. These events will undoubtedly shape the future strategic calculations and defense acquisitions of both India and Pakistan. The delicate balance of perceived power dynamics in South Asia may also undergo subtle shifts, underscoring the persistent need for de-escalation and robust dialogue.